So, I'm so sorry. Like, I literally recorded this video and I went back and I had tried to listen to it again, and I realized that the cord of my mic was hitting my leg, and I have this thing that I like to, like, I'm moving my leg so much, so I was moving with the cable and it was like the cable sound was happening. So I just realized that I needed to cut that off because it was a little annoying, and obviously it's my like the beginning of the video. So anyway, so I'm just gonna recreate, or like just recreate a little bit of the beginning of the video. Alright, so first of all, like we're gonna talk about this book that I'm reading, like this new book that's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And it's all small stuff. That's the name, by Richard Carlson. And so this book is simple ways to keep the little things from taking over your life, and basically it talks about like how there's little things that we make a big deal, and we shouldn't, because that like basically makes you not makes you, but a lot of the times those things of those little things that we care so much and we make a big deal about it, sets the vibe of our days, right? So that's the book. That's how the book. That's what the book talks about. And we're gonna go over like 10 chapters. The chapters are super small. They're literally like a page or two, and they're super interesting. We will talk about like the most important parts of the book, of the chapters, and we'll talk about a little bit about like personal experience and all of those things. And obviously we're going over my drawing, that it's looking not the way I want to. I'm still working on it. There's still a lot of work to do, so don't criticize it yet, okay? So there's a lot of work to do. These things take time, especially because I'm doing it for you guys. It's taking me a little longer, and especially because I'm not doing it at night because I don't have a lot of light, and so I'm using only my daytime to do this. Anyway, so we're gonna start now, and thank you for watching this. So on the introduction, Richard has a little quote. Like it starts with a little quote. It says, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human being can alter his life by altering his attitude." And that's so true, because sometimes we actually react to things, and those things make even a bigger problem, like from what it is, right? We go out of proportion, and that's what it is. Like we alter that moment to something worse than what it could be. So I really highlighted that because I thought it was very powerful. And so it starts with the first one, which says number one is don't sweat the small stuff. So on this one talks about, for example, like okay, so the example was about the traffic, and what happens when someone goes in front of you or is behind you and is super close, and you're like all get all angry because that person is going too slow, or it's coming too close to you, and now you're like so our age and just get upset, and it's all of these things happens, right? So so it talks about that. It talks about like why not instead simply allow the driver to have his accident somewhere else. So basically like I know that this we focus on other people's like driving. One thing is to be aware of how people drive, because that's important to be aware of, but not getting upset and about that person's life, let them be idiots and stupid, because no matter what you do when you're driving, you're not gonna make anybody change how they're driving. They're driving how they are. Like, people are always gonna be who they are, and they're never gonna change for you, especially if they don't know you, right? So so basically just live your life. Basically, like, if that's bothering you, like while you're driving, just try to remember that, maybe remember a time where you were like super in a hurry, and then you needed to go, and then you were that person, or the times that you've been you've been distracted, for example, and then you've been that person. So I guess when you do that, you shift that moment of anger to understanding and to peacefulness. So that's the first one. So many people spend so much of their life energy sweating the small stuff that they completely lose touch with the magic and beauty of life. That's kind of true, to be honest. Like, we waste a lot of time, like, in those things, like we waste time from reality, from the moment, from the here and now. All right. For so there's another one. So on number 2, these are like chapters, like small chapters. Chapter number 2 talks about make peace with imperfections. So the need the need for perfection and the desire for inner tranquility conflict with each other. The very fact of focusing on imperfection pulls us away from our goal of being kind and gentle. This strategy has nothing to do with ceasing to do your this strategy has nothing to do with ceasing to do your very best, but with being only attached and focused on what's wrong with life. It's about realizing that while there's always better way to do something, this doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy and appreciate the way things are. The solution here is to catch yourself when you fall into your habit of insisting that things should be other than they are. Gently remind yourself that life is okay the way it is right now. As you begin to eliminate your need for perfection in all areas of your life, you begin to discover the perfection in life itself. That is so true. Like, a lot of the times, like for example my videos right now, like, I remember I never wanted to make videos because I used to think that like my English wasn't perfect, or because like I hate editing. Like, it makes me really tired because I just hate it. And I used to be like, oh, I don't want to, like, I see all these amazing videos, like, I just don't want to do that. And to be honest, it's like, at the end of the day, it's like looking for perfection makes you waste time. So why it makes you waste time? Well, because see, when you I had an issue, so I used to say I don't want to do anything until like I crack the code, basically, right? Like, until like I become super good on videos, because I don't want to look like stupid. But sometimes we forget that practice makes everybody better. And then maybe some people, like, they're really good at once, like right away, like they just put a mic and somehow they're just amazing. Or like if they do something, like maybe some people are great at drawing, for example, or painting, and they don't need that. But it's like very minimum percentage in the world that I actually like that. Like, there are actually like like geniuses, right? So, but for us, for the mortals, for us it's different. For us, we need to practice, and the only way we can get better at whatever we want to do is just to put more reps, right? So that was my issue. Like, I wanted to be perfect before I put anything out that, and then I was so scared about people are gonna talk about me, people are gonna make fun of me, and I mean, probably they will do, probably at some point they will make fun of me, but I don't care. Like, to be honest, I'm just happy that I actually got myself out of the cocoon and just try something, I always say that I don't want to die with any regrets in my life, and then this could be a regret, like not trying. And if this doesn't work, if this makes me feel, I don't know, if there is nothing that I can say that it will be bad for me, because I really don't, I'm not putting anything controversial here. Like, it's just this is something I like to do. Okay, so this is why I'm just peaceful with myself. But yeah, like, perfection can really ruin your life and can back you up from a lot of time and waste your time. So on chapter 3, it's called "Let Go the Idea That Gentle, Relaxed People Can't Be Superachievers." Fearful, frantic thinking takes an enormous amount of energy and drains the creativity and motivation from our lives. When you are fearful or frantic, you literally immobilize yourself from your greatest potential, not to mention enjoyment. Any success that you do have is despite your fear, not because of it. When you have what you want, inner peace, you are less distracted by your wants, needs, desires, and concerns. It's thus easier to concentrate, focus, achieve your goals, and to give back to others. This is really true. So back in, like, when I was like 16, like when I was a teenager all the way to like probably 19, 20, I was the type of person that it was like I wasn't afraid of anything. I was just like, if I had an idea, I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'll do it right away. Like, I didn't wait and I didn't plan. I just jumped to it. And I was always happy doing those things. And even though they didn't work, I was never like worried about that. Later on in life, I started getting like super insecure because of some relationships I was in. So it was really sad because I lost all of those qualities that I had. So for me, it was kind of heartbroken that I lost it, because I remember like how happy it used to make me, like it being so driven. So yeah, I mean, the fear doesn't take you anywhere, and whatever you do in life, it's not because of fear, it's because you have peace in yourself that whatever you're doing is the right thing. So yeah. So chapter number 4 is be aware of the snowball effect of your thinking. Sorry about that. A powerful technique of becoming more peaceful is to be aware of how quickly your negative and insecure thinking can spiral out of control. That is so true. Instead of obsessing on your upcoming day, you say to yourself, when will I go again? And consciously nip it in the bud. You stop your train of thought before it has a chance to get going. You can then focus not on how overwhelmed you are, but on how grateful you are for remembering the phone call that you need to be made, that it needed to be made. Remember that filling your head with thoughts of how overwhelmed you are only exacerbates the problem by making you feel even more stressed than you already do. So that's so true. Like so okay, so this is true. Like sometimes, so this is used to happen to me. Like I overthink, and sometimes I get these thoughts that are super like literally the enemy of progress, and I used to be super involved in my thoughts, and yeah, like my whole day will pass by, and then I'm still in the thought and in this like fantasy that my thoughts start like creating. So eventually I realized that okay, this thought is coming back, like what is happening, and I started to control it more often. So now it's like even when I get those thoughts, I talk to my husband and I say, oh my god, I'm feeling like this again, and then like it makes me feel so much better, and then I feel like now I'm not acknowledging those things. It makes me feel like okay, I know what it is. It's not about me, or it's like it's a stupid like insecurity or whatever, but that's not me. It's just my body betraying me basically. And yeah, that will go away at some point. Like it's crazy how your body plays you like that sometimes. All right, so chapter 5 is develop your compassion. So it says nothing helps us build our perspective more than developing compassion for others. Compassion is a sympathetic feeling. We cannot do things on this earth. We can only do small things with great love. That's what Mother Teresa said. Well, this is really true, to be honest. So nothing helps us build our perspective more than developing compassion for others. Compassion is sympathetic. So compassion is something you can develop with practice. It evolves to things: attention, intention, and action. Intention simply means that you remember to open your heart to others. You expand what and who matters, what from yourself to other people. Action is simply the what you do about it. You might donate a little money or time or both on a regular basis to a cause near to your heart. So yeah, I mean, it can either be like helping someone doing something. Is not always is necessary like it has to be about money. It can be like about an action, right? Like okay, like I know you I don't know, you've been busy, like I see in your backyard is all like a mess, like obviously in a nicer way to say it. Let me help you, things like that, right? So yeah. On chapter 6 is remind yourself that when you die, your in basket won't be empty. Often we convince ourselves that our obsession with our to-do list is the only temporary. That once we get thought the list will become that once we get through the list we'll get calm, relaxed, and happy. But in reality this rarely happens. As items are checked off, new ones simply replace them. The nature of your in basket is that it means you to have items to be completed in it. It's not meant to be empty. There will always be phone calls that need to be made, projects to complete, and work to be done. Nothing is more important than your own sense of happiness and inner peace, and that your loved ones and that your love. Sorry about that. I'm so tired. Nothing is more important than your own sense of happiness and inner peace, and that of your loved ones. If you're obsessed with getting everything done, you'll never have a sense of well-being. I find that if I remind myself frequently that the purpose of life isn't to get it all done, but to enjoy each step along the way and live a life filled with love, it's far easier for me to control my obsession with completing my list of things to do. Remember, when you die, there will still be unfinished business to take care of. Someone else will do it for you. Don't waste any more precious moments of your life regretting the inevitable. This is so true. We get so like wrapped up with this thing of like, oh my god, I need to finish this. Like, if I don't finish this book, for example, that I'm writing, like life is gonna be over. No, like if I don't finish a book that I wrote, I don't know, maybe when I die, I have no family. My only family is my husband. And then when we die, someone probably will find it, and maybe that person will put it there. And that's okay. Like, maybe my paintings or my drawings, they'll never see it when I'm alive, but maybe when I die and they come to my house and pick up and clean it up, they're gonna see all the paintings, and they'll probably go in a museum. Who knows? Like, I'm enjoying this life that I've been given, and the moments, and this peaceful time that I have, because having peace is very hard. And I know, because I've been there, that when I've been in times when there's no peace in my life, and now that I have it, I want to enjoy it as much as possible. So yeah, like, I just want to enjoy every moment that I have with my husband, with people that I loved, and yeah, like, everything else will come into place, and everything is gonna be fine. So on chapter 7, they talk about don't interrupt others or finish their sentence. This is very important and really interesting. So it's about, remind yourself before a conversation begins, if possible, to be patient and wait. Tell yourself to allow the other person to finish speaking before you take your turn. This is an easy way to become a more relaxed, loving person. This is so true, because this part, okay, I'm just reading you the most important parts for me, but basically the chapter talks about like how our ego always wants to jump into things. We always want to, if someone says something and we kind of know what they're talking about, like, we want to jump in and say, oh yes, oh by the way, me too, that happened to me too, blah blah blah. But it's really like, it's something that we do, like, so, like, we just do that. We don't think about that, and we don't think that it shouldn't be like that. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. Like, we should be like letting people talk and talk their minds without feeling like they're gonna get interrupted every 5 minutes. And also, like, it's our ego that doesn't want to feel less. Like, if someone says, oh my god, I run 3 miles and this and that, and we're like, oh my god, yeah, me too, I remember like 3 years ago when I did, and it's like, let that person have their win. And I do that sometimes, but sometimes it's like I jump into that too, but it's not like that. It is, I know that it's the ego now, but I used to, I don't know, I just get excited. But it's something that I really want to try because I'm so interested in what could happen, because apparently it's a really positive thing in life for you as the listener. And obviously letting someone like have their little pump time on telling their story, right? So yeah, so don't forget to be patient, and even though you know what their next like sentence is gonna be, just let them say it. So chapter number 8 is do something nice for someone else and don't tell anyone about it. So this is so true. And okay, so how many influencers you know that they go to the streets and then they just giving candies or gifts to like poor people, and they're just putting it on the media? It's like, you don't need to do that. Like, I've done that, but I don't put it there because it's not nice for the person that is poor to be placed on TV as a poor person. It's actually very embarrassing and very denigrating. I've been very poor in my life when I was a child, and I can tell you that the last thing I wanted it was for people to see me. Like, I didn't want anybody to see me when I wasn't like dressed properly. I wanted to be invisible because it feels horribly. So yeah, so if you do something for someone, just don't place it like for the world to see. Like, it's very mean. People don't need to know that. People don't need to know and to see all the nicest things that you're doing for them. If you do it because you want to, because you feel like doing it, because it comes from your heart, not because you're gonna get a few more likes or comments on your feed. Like, it's disgusting. Chapter 9 is let others have the glory. That's a powerful one. So there is something magical that happens to the human spirit, a sense of calm that comes over you when you cease needing all the attention direct towards yourself, and instead allow others to have the glory. Or need to for excessive attention is the ego enter part of us that says, look at me, I'm special, my story is more and interesting than yours. It's that voice inside of us that might not come right out and say it, but that means to believe that my accomplishments are slightly more important than yours. The ego is the part of us that wants to be seen, heard, respect, consider special, often at the expense of someone else. It's the part of us that interrupts someone else's story or impatiently waits his turn to speak so that he can bring the conversation and attention back to us. To us. To varying degrees, most of us engage in habits much to our own the treatment. When you immediately dive in and bring the conversation back towards you can certainly minimize the joy the person has in sharing, and in doing so create distance between yourself and the others. So this is what I was telling you about, like, let the other person have that win. If the person run 10 miles, oh my god, that's amazing, I'm so proud of you, congratulations, that's it. You don't need to do that. Like, if the person asks you, have you done that? Yes, they want you to share your experience because they're sharing their experience. But if the person just comes and excited about that, let them have the day. Let them. They're gonna feel so good, and you're gonna feel so good too. So finally, I finished chapter 10. Learn to live in the present moment. We allow past problems and future concerns to dominate our present moment so much so that we end up anxious, frustrated, depressed, and hopeless. On the flip side, we also postpone our gratification or state priorities and our happiness, often convincing ourselves that someday will be better than today. Unfortunately, the same mental dynamics that tell us to look towards the future will only repeat themselves, so that someday never really arrives. John Lennon once said, "Life is what's happening while we're busy making other plans." That hurts. That is hurtful. To combat fear, the best strategy is to learn to bring your attention back to the present. Mark Twain said, I have been through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. Practice keeping your attention on the here now. Your efforts will pay great dividends. So it's so true, like that happens a lot, and I'm pretty sure that happens to everybody. It happened to me, it happens to a lot of people. Like we tend to do that. We tend to be like, yeah, like when we, for example, right, we have a business, and then we say, okay, when we make $10,000, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then, oh my god, all excitement, you make the $10,000 and you don't even notice that you already make them. You just already, okay, now when we make $50,000, and then what happens, like you didn't even think about like celebrating the achievement of the $10,000 because you're already like you're so like you passed that, you already felt it, and then you don't give that moment the celebration that it's needed, the recognition of the hard work and all of that. So you always live for the future and in the and for the past, like if I would have done this, or I'm going to do that. And what about now? What about in this specific moment where you're like probably sitting with your loved one and you're not even seeing what's happening because you don't know if that person's gonna be there in the future? Yeah, that person has been in the past and is there with you. But this is why when that people die, people are like, oh, I wish I had it here so I can tell I love him, or things like that. Why don't you use that time to nurture that person, to love that person, to show them and all of that? Because regardless of all the work that you need to do, someone is still there with you, and you need to like love that person regardless of the moment. And if you're on your own, you need to enjoy yourself. I don't know, what do you like to do? You like to just close your eyes and listen to music, take a nap because that's what you like to do, whatever. Like just enjoy the moment and feel that moment where you are, and be grateful for where you are, because you'll never know, especially if you're in a good conditions in life. So yeah, so this book is really interesting, really good. I loved it. I'm gonna continue reading it, and I can just bring you more of it on the next video. I hope you like it, and let me know in the comments like what do you think. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the drawing as well. I still have a lot to work on this drawing, like, so it's not done. Trust me, it's not done. I still need to work on the dress, work on the arms, work on that face still, like the chin. I'm not happy about the chin, or yeah, it's just a few things I need to work on. That probably the hair needs a little bit something, but yeah, like I'm still working on it. Anyway, if you got to this point of the video, I hope you hear it all and listen to the whole thing. I hope I can see you on my next video, or you can see the next video. And thank you so much for your support. If you really get to this point of the video, please subscribe so I know that this is something that people like. Give me a like also, that will help a lot. And yeah, I think that's all. Like, I'm still so bothered about this painting because my somehow my camera didn't capture the whole time I was recording. There was a lot of parts that didn't record, and especially the end, it got cut for some reason. But anyway, thank you so much, and I see you next time. Have a good day, good night, and good evening. Bye.